In 2007, a 3-year-old girl vanished from her bed while on holiday with her family in Portugal. Her name was Madeleine McCann, and her disappearance would become one of the most high-profile missing child cases in the world. No ransom note, no trace, no confirmed sightings, just an open window and an empty bed. Over 16 years later, theories range from child trafficking to staged abduction to one disturbing possibility, that Madeleine never left the room alive. This is the heartbreaking, twisted story of Madeleine Beth McCann and the night she disappeared forever. Madeleine McCann was born on May 12, 2003, in Leicester, England, to Jerry and Kate McCann, both respected doctors. She was the oldest of 3 children, a bright, energetic little girl with wide blue-green eyes, blonde hair, and a unique coloboma in her right eye, a rare defect that made her instantly recognizable. Her parents described her as curious, affectionate, and just a little bit bossy, a natural big sister to her younger twin siblings, Sean and Emily. In April of 2007, the McCann family traveled to Praia da Luz, a quiet coastal resort town in the Algarve region of Portugal. They were joined by a group of close friends, all British, all parents, with a total of 8 children between them. It was meant to be a peaceful holiday, tennis in the morning, poolside play dates, wine and dinner in the evenings, until everything changed on the night of May 3rd. At 8:30 p.m., Kate and Jerry left their apartment, Unit 5A of the Ocean Club complex, to have dinner at a tapas bar just 55 meters away with their friends. The group had a routine. Each couple would take turns checking on their sleeping children throughout the evening. The patio door was left unlocked, curtains drawn. The children, Madeleine and the twins, slept inside. At 9:05 p.m., Jerry checked in. Everything was normal. Madeleine was asleep. At 9:30 p.m., another friend checked on their own kids. Then at 10 p.m., Kate McCann got up to do her check. When she entered the apartment, the window was wide open. The shutters were up, and Madeleine's bed was empty. Kate ran back to the restaurant, screaming, "They've taken her!" Within minutes, the search began. Guests combed the resort. Staff scoured the nearby streets. Police were called, but they didn't arrive until almost an hour later. And by then, the trail had already gone cold. What followed was a cascade of missteps. Portuguese police didn't secure the scene. Over 20 people entered the McCann's apartment before it was locked down. Fingerprints were compromised. No one stopped traffic out of the town. Border alerts went out hours too late. Within days, the story exploded across Europe. Madeleine's face was on every news channel. Posters in airports. Police across the continent were notified. Even the Pope met the McCanns and offered prayers, but there was no sign of Madeleine. No forced entry, no ransom demand, no credible witnesses, except one. A man named Jane Tanner, a friend of the McCanns, claimed she'd seen a man carrying a small child, wrapped in a blanket, walking away from the apartment around 9:15 p.m. Just minutes before Kate discovered Madeleine missing. That sighting would shape the case for years. Over the next few months, Portuguese police pursued multiple theories, and eventually, shockingly, suspicion turned toward Kate and Jerry McCann themselves. Authorities questioned their story. Why didn't they lock the door? Why were there no signs of struggle? Sniffer dogs brought in from the UK alerted to the scent of blood and human decomposition in the apartment. specifically behind the sofa and in the rental car the McCanns had used weeks after the disappearance. By September 2007, the McCanns were officially named arguidos, suspects. Public opinion shifted. Rumors swirled. Some claimed it was an accident and a cover-up. Others accused the McCanns of selling their daughter. But there was no physical evidence, no DNA, no confession, just circumstantial speculation. And in 2008, Portuguese prosecutors dropped all charges. The McCanns were no longer considered suspects. The case remained open, but the trail, again, had gone cold. Over the next decade, thousands of tips poured in from all over the world. Madeleine was spotted in Morocco, Malta, Belgium. None were confirmed. In 2013, Scotland Yard launched Operation Grange, a full-scale reinvestigation of the case. They released a new suspect sketch based on the Jane Tanner sighting. The man was never identified. Then came the theory of Christian Bruckner, a German man with a history of child abuse and sexual assault. He had lived in the Algarve at the time, and his cell phone had been pinged near the Ocean Club the night Madeleine disappeared. In 2020, German prosecutors named him the prime suspect. They said they had concrete evidence Madeleine was dead, but provided no details. As of today, no one has been charged. Bruckner remains in prison for unrelated crimes. And Madeleine? Still missing. In 2023, a Polish woman claimed to be Madeleine, pointing to similarities in her appearance and childhood gaps in memory. DNA testing proved she wasn't. But for a moment, the world held its breath. Today, Madeleine would be 20 years old. Her parents, now advocates for missing children worldwide, still fight to keep her name alive. And the world still asks the same question. What happened to Madeleine McCann? Was it an abduction? A planned trafficking operation? A tragic accident covered up in panic? Or something darker, hidden in plain sight all along? Some cases haunt because of what we know, others because of what we don't. If you found this story as heartbreaking and haunting as we did, subscribe for more true crime and unsolved mysteries. This was The Quiet Files, and this was the case of Madeleine McCann, the girl who vanished without a sound.